240-83108. Before we start, let me very humbly invite the chairman to please kindly come forward and tell us the ground rules for the presentation. Prof.
Good afternoon, members of council, government appointees, and all staff of our various MDAs. We are delighted to receive you in this 4-day program of 2008 budget presentation. This is the first of its kind since the creation of state. And the whole essence is government is meant to serve the people. And budget is a process of planning and spending for a fiscal year ahead of this year. So we want our people to participate. The ministries present their budget items by items, the fund allocation that they are proposing, and the intended outcome for this budget for 2018. We expect that each MDA led by the commissioner should be able to give us a recap of 2017 performance. How much was your budget for 2017? What was your performance? The intention of government in the 2017 budget, those intentions were then met in terms of access to education, access to jobs, and so on and so forth. In 2018, what's our expectation? What are your projections? We want to, see those key parameters captured in your discussions. So yesterday we had interaction with Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and Ministry of Power. Today we have Ministry of Education, Ministry of Lands and Surveyor, who are going to be taken from economic empowerment and Surveyor before the end of the day. So keep to time. Each ministry and department and other agencies will have 1 hour to present. 30 minutes presentation, 30 minutes interaction. We'll have a phone-in program. Those who are in the audience are also free to participate. So again, we want to welcome you to this all-important assignment. Thank you for coming, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Prof. It is on that note that I want to invite the first presenter for today, Honorable Commissioner for Education, Professor John Ubochi Eke. Please, can you give him a round of applause as he comes forward to make his presentation. Prof, you're welcome, sir.
Mr. Chairman and members of the ESCO Committee on the 2018 budget presentation, ESCO members and MDA directors, board members, and audience, you are welcome to this presentation. I will give the overview of the entire both the ministry and the MTAs under the ministry. I will give you the summary, detail of the capital project of each board and agencies. I already handed over to the committee, and it is good that the head of each of the agencies and departments, they are all here, so that you can ask questions and we are ready to answer you. The budget for education. Let me make some remark here, because the issue of the performances of the capital project of 2016. What happened was that this administration inherited accumulated unassessed UBEC fund from 2010 till the time we arrived, and every quarter the money keep coming, and by law every state must provide the amount that is available for you at UBEC. They call it intervention fund. The same amount that is available for the state is the same amount the state will bring as a matching grant or capital funding before you assess the fund. But the last administration neglected education to the point of not caring to assess these funds. They were accumulated since 2010.
Commissioner, just to guide you,
Yeah.
you have your slide here. We would want you to speak to your document so that we follow the document.
Mr.
That
Chairman,
way we'll save time and we'll carry along the audience.
yes, they told me that the slide has fault, so they went to buy machine.
Do you have copies of what you are presenting?
They are there with you.
Are there anybody with the copies here? So can you speak to the document page by page so that we can follow through? That way we can be with you on the program.
Yes, but by your directive yesterday, you told us to discuss the source of our income.
N'usoro mgbasa ozi nke a na-ewetara gị na ndụ bụ amụma ahụ ndị isi nchekwa nke ụlọọrụ ministri dị iche iche ji wee na-egosi ọhaneze etu amụma na mkpata na mmefu ego ha ga-esi adị maka afọ nke a na-akwado ka banye. Onye nọ n'ụgbọ ugbu a bụ Kọmishọna Ebonyi steeti na-ahụ maka agụmakwụkwọ bụ Ọkammụta John Eke.
1 billion, while we provided 2.1 billion. And the source of our income for the year is from our IGR sector and also monthly allocation. Then international partner, we have, Mr. Chairman, we have met the requirement to get fund from international partners by CESOP. And also we are now, both the university and the book education and the ETC, we are now in TSA to make the IGR of the state to boost. Then, Chairman, the summary of each department here, from what I submitted to you, for UBEP, I have told you that we are expecting, even before now and the December ending, we are expecting 1.7 billion times 2. And then this is our budget for the year.
Commissioner.
Yes.
I am in total disconnect between what you are presenting and what is here. I want you to discuss this document so that if we have anything to say, we will base it on the document. There's a document before us from your ministry. Those of us in the audience, I hope you are with us. We want you to speak to the document so that based on the document, because this is a document you have presented to us, this document will eventually come to council and to House of Assembly. So we want to focus our discussion on the document, not out of context.
Chairman, sir.
Yes.
What you are holding is only the ministry, but what I submitted included all the MTS that are on your table.
You start from the document you give us. For instance, we have noted some overlap in the 3 documents.
Yes.
So we want to know from document number 1, this is your outlay for 2018, item by item. This is how much you are proposing for this. So that way we can follow.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
Because we are lost here on this table. We don't know where you are. We are lost.
Okay, let's go to the capital project of the ministry. You look at the page 1.
We will get a copy. Just hold on for a while. Go on, Commissioner.
When you look at the ministry budget at page 1, the first item there we provided for the furniture in all the secondary schools. For last year we had 224 million naira. The same was repeated this year because we couldn't access any of the fund, even the item 1 to the last. I will let me go through them. The computer and the internet facilities at AB's unit and the educational zone. We have 6 educational zones. Then we have production of 500 school census booklets that we need to provide. If you look at the column from 2017, you see what we provided was replicated in 2018 column. The same thing go down the list. You have science equipment and so on and so on by census project. Procurement of library equipment for schools, cabinet shelf, catalog, cabinet box, standard book, shelf for schools, Ministry of Education through census. I will explain census later. Then renovation of last year we provided for open university, but this year none. Renovation of 3 special science groups in the zone. Then the second page, you will see in the same order the GTC, the 3 GTC that just handed over to Catholic. We have not abandoned them yet. We are still contributing until they are fully on their own. Then the procurement and installation of computers and accessories in all the secondary schools. Then we need vehicles, which is our core assignment for supervision and monitoring. 6 Hiroxes. For the year we couldn't purchase any. We hope by next year they should be available for us to monitor and supervise schools. Then we need also the bus for the headquarter and zone. Then continuous assessment and transfer certificate, which is the ministry's responsibility. Computerization of WAEC registration. We need about 20 computers to help them computerize through online registration. Then science, most of our science laboratories are not good. So we provided to see that we have science laboratories in at least 1 per local government for a start. Then rehabilitation too are provided for, especially in secondary schools. And then teaching aid and the social materials. The last page there you see establishment of agricultural research grant in College of Agriculture, Ipo, and that of Education, Ishiago, and so on and so on. Then the total for last year was 1.9 billion. This year is 2.3 billion. That is for the ministry.
Just to guide you.
Yeah.
I want, because we are before the public, and this is our television and radio. On this document, we have provisions in 2017 budget.
Yeah.
And the total provision was about 1.something billion. From your presentation here, you had 0 release across board, all through for the year. I don't know how possible this is. I don't know how possible this is, because even we have seen procurement of school furniture, we have seen buses, we have seen renovation of building for National Open University, we have seen GTC Abakaliki, we have seen 3 science schools, 1 per zone. So I don't know, is this the way it is? Because I know some of these projects here are ongoing. Did you get supplementary approval, or where did the money come from? Or is it from a different source?
Yes, at the beginning I was trying to explain to you how we operate in education. Like even at UBEV, we have all those items. In SEV, we have those items. Now this is the ministry paper.
No, if that is the case, this is a wrong presentation because it's misleading. If you have these items appearing in a SEV and UBEV, you should harmonize them. We can't have a document that is showing 000 releases on education. Education,
Chairman, sir.
Just follow the discussion. We want to guide you so that, because you are the commissioner, and you are supposed to present, every information about their ministry. If you require people to come up and support you, they join you. But not to have a document from the commissioner that's showing 0, 0, 0, 0 in all the items. And in some other items, they had fund, spent on those items. So members of the public, I don't know whether we are together on this.
I hope I'm
so we are trying to guide you so that because eventually you will need to go back.
But you have not allowed me to explain fully. That's my problem.
This is the issue. From the way this document is now, I think the best thing will be for you and your team to go back and give us a document that is cohesive, coherent, and consistent.
Chairman, sir.
Yes.
Just a privilege. Even if we go 10 times, this is what will come out. I love it.
Commissioner, we belong to the same executive council. We don't want to show the public document that is not in the form it should be. So we want you to work closely with your MDAs, reconcile these overlaps. Let us have a document that is consistent. Let us not see 0 in your own and see money in Chief Boss own, or see money in what is it called, SEB. So we want the three of you to sit down and put the numbers together so that anyone that is here that they have done, you remove it. Okay? We want to improve your document. That's what we are doing. We are not saying you have done the wrong thing, but we want to see a consistent pattern. It doesn't stop the NDS from presenting, but this one is from you, and you are the commissioner. You are the leader of the ministry.
Okay, thank you very much.
I
don't understand. Because I wasn't allowed to explain myself.
Wait, that anybody who is viewing us now on telly.
No, I was trying to explain something. I'm not allowed. So
wait now. Wait. It's not. I don't want to be emotional about it. Just calm down. Okay? If there are issues you don't understand, we'll explain. You are the leader of your ministry, and the first document that came from you is showing 0 release.
I didn't assess even a dime in my ministry. That's the point.
That's what I'm saying.
And in some budget.
Can you pay attention?
Yes, President.
Some of the items here are projects that are currently ongoing, and those projects, money has gone in there. So if you see it here and it's showing that there is no release, it's indightful, because we know some of these projects has fund being spent on those projects. And we said, if there are supplementary budgets that encourage those expenditures, we should know. If there are funding from UBEB or SEB that is not, let two of you harmonize.
Thank you, sir.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you, sir.
It's okay. No, I want to be sure you're okay.
I'm okay.
You are not okay.
No. I'm okay.
If you have other issues, I can allow you go on. But
no, I'm okay.
You're not okay, Prof.
Prof, I'm okay.
Thank you, sir. Except if there are other information they want to give, you can go ahead and give. Yes, head of service.
Chairman of ESCO Committee audience, I agree fully with you, totally with you. But is it possible that you allow other MD parastatals under the ministry to present? Because it does appear that the commissioner, being the chief executive of that ministry, did not discuss with his other subordinates from other parastatals under his MDA. But I do believe that I'm seeing SEB here, I'm seeing UBEB here, I'm seeing College of Education here. Can they present? Because
I absolutely appreciate your concern. You see, since he is the commissioner and they need to do some reconciliation, if we allow SEB or UBEB to present here, it doesn't, we have to respect his office.
I agree.
That's why I'm saying they need to go back and put things together. Members of the public, this is for our open discussion. If we have different view, we can shift ground, but I am thinking that it will be better if they sit back together and look at the entire document and come up with something that is more representative of what they have done. Okay, do we have any more comments on this? More comments? Are we together? Okay, so do we call another ministry? Yes. Are they phoning in?
Thank you very much. At this point, we want to take another ministry, but before I do that, let me once again advertise our telephone line, which is 080-240-38108, 080-240-83108. At this point, it is time to invite Honorable Commissioner for Lands, Survey and Housing, Chief Sunday Ihima. Honorable Commissioner, sir.
And today we are here to hear from Ministry of Education, Lands and Survey, Economic Empowerment and
the chairman of the ESCO Committee
Affairs and Social Development
on review of 2018 budget and its members. Other Executive Council members here present, I defer to you, the Honorable Commissioners, and indeed all other government appointees who are here. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am Chief Sunday Ihima, the Honorable Commissioner for Land, Survey and Housing, Ebonyi State. The Ministry of Land, Survey and Housing is made up of other components, departments and agencies like the Survey Department, of course, that is represented here by the Surveyor General of the state, and then the Housing Corporation, which is being manned by the SA to His Excellency on Housing. Indeed, these two departments and agencies will do their own presentation differently from what I am trying to capture here for the ministry. The year ending 2017 has been an eventful one for the Ministry of Land, Survey and Housing. Of course, we made very serious projections, and that to an extent, I will beat my chest to say that through the encouragement of His Excellency and of course the provision of the enabling environment, the ministry was able to attain very great height that we can hold our head high as the year is ending to say that we have done well. Year 2017, the ministry had a total budget of 7,779,550,000 projected for 2017. To this amount, we were able to draw a total of 2.7 billion approximately, and that represents a percentage of 35% out of this total amount that I said that we projected for 2017. In the document before us, first of all, let me apologize that we don't have our projection here, but to those of you who have the document before you, if you go to page 4 of the document, you will see the appraisal of the 2017 budget, item by item. In the construction of the waste-to-waste recycling plant, the total budget made for it for 2017 was 200 million, and because of the fact that there were other exigencies and other things that came up in the course of the construction, which of course now stands at a level of over 90% completed, the ministry have been able to pay this amount of 2 200 million budgeted for the project, and of course which is the contract sum, and made some additional fund due to additional work which was approved by the State Executive Council. As I speak, like the project physically has been achieved up to the percentage of 90%. We also embarked within this 2017 on the construction of a communication center, of course, which is there within the Akanibiam roundabout and junction for everybody to see. This project has a provision for 2017 of 1 billion naira. And then at the award of the contract, a lot of other things were taken into consideration, and the contract sum which the lot 1 of the project was awarded was 1.508 billion. To the level that we are now, we have paid just about 30% of this contract sum to the contractor, which represents 463 million, and that is what has been paid to the contractor now. And as I speak to you, work is seriously ongoing at this ecumenical center. Physically, we have achieved the piles and then the ground beams, which in other terms represent about 20% of the project that we are talking about. Construction of the shopping mall. This is also one of the items that we represented or budgeted for in 2017. We mapped out a total sum of 1 billion also for the construction of the shopping mall for 2017. Until now, just for the consultancy and the drawing of the shopping mall, both architectural, the M&E, the structural, we have been able to release or draw from that budgeted sum 40 million naira. And then the work that has been done on site there is just the clearing and then some other minor works which represent less than 5%. I want to promise that as we enter into 2018, we are going to aggressively pursue this project to ensure its realization by next year, 2018. We have number 6, the construction of the security perimeter fence of the new government house. This one was not actually in the budget when we did our first budget, but in the supplementary we projected for it, and then the contract sum that this project was awarded was 310 million. That's the perimeter fencing of the new government house, the Centenary City. At present, we have paid 97 million to the contractor, and the contractor has been so fast and diligent in his duty. He has achieved up to 60% of the work needed to be done in this area. We have the number 7, air conditioning of the new government house. Yes, in the new government house, we have 3 projects that is simultaneously going on there. That is talking about the governor's lodge, the governor's office, and then the presidential lodge. The M&E for these projects have been awarded. One is that one that you have on number 13, awarded to a contractor at the sum of 121 million. We have assessed and given to the contractor the sum of 61 million to thereabout, and as I speak, the contractor has performed very well. We have level of performance here at 30%, even though as at now he has gone beyond 50%. That is for 2017. We also have the construction of the prison cells, the new prison cells that we are doing to decongest the new prison, or even entirely do away with the existing prison that we have now and create a conducive environment for our brothers and sisters that are serving various jail terms in the prisons there. And so for the 3 blocks, each of them is awarded at the contract sum of 123 123.120 million, and then the contractor as at present have assessed 61.9 million. The level of job done could be said to be about 30 to 40% because all the 3 blocks are trying to come up to the first slab of the building. We hope that before even the end of this year, this month that is remaining, that they must have finished the first slab and then taking us to the next level of the building. So they are doing well there. So construction of the gatehouse at the Nigerian police headquarters. This one, if you look at the physical achieved target, you see that I have it 100%. And a lot of you are witnesses to it. It is something that is existing. So I may not need to say much about that, but just to say that the 30 million that was the contract sum have been fully paid and the contractor have fully delivered his work. And then we have number 16 here, the perimeter fencing of the proposed shopping mall. This one was determined and terminated because the contractor was not performing according to our desire, and so we looked at it and had to terminate the job. So even having it here is just for us to know that it was awarded at the sum of 97 million, and at present I think it's just about 30% mobilization that had been paid to him. However, having terminated it, we will have to go into discussion with the contractor. Is it that he comes back to site or we do something to recover the fund of government? Construction of the Abakaliki Stadium guest house. This is a job that the ministry is actually supervising for the Ministry of Youth and Sports. That guest house that is going on in front of the stadium, that one was awarded at a cost of 310 million. And as at present, we have paid 131,175,000 naira to the contractor. At present, what we have here is 30%, but believe you that we have achieved up to 60% there. If you go in front of the stadium, you will see the building that I'm talking about. What is just remaining there is the roofing of that block of building. Construction, number 18, construction of 8 classroom block. At this, because by the year 2017, of course, when we were trying to do the budget, we agreed to include all the constituency projects from members of the House of Assembly who want to carry out one project or the other within that has to do with our respective ministries into our ministries. And so this one that is construction, number 18, okay, construction of classroom block at Nkalago Junction is one of the constituency projects. Work is ongoing there, and I think the contract was awarded at 22,260,000. At present, we have paid him 7,763,000, and don't mind the percentage that the PRS wrote here. I know that work has really advanced beyond this 5%. However, that is not to say that the work has been completed. Construction of government of gatehouse at new, okay, this one is the new government house gate that we are doing at the Centenary City. Actually, the contract was awarded at 45,868,000 naira approximately. However, the contractor has not been mobilized, even a kobo, but he is doing well and pushing. I believe that with time, when His Excellency is back, we will push to ensure that he gets a little fund to put to what he's doing so that he will increase his pace. Okay, construction of bus terminal at EBSU permanent site. Of course, this one was the project, in fact, the first project that was commissioned by His Excellency, the former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Olusegun Obasanjo. we actually made a projection of 100 million for this project, but at present, when it was awarded, it was awarded at 52 million thereabouts. However, the contractor messed up, and then the job was retrieved and then handled through direct labor by the ministry. A lot of other introductions like Aluko bond, glassworks, and other serious tiling with marble that was not there at the initial contract was introduced, and so the job sum rose up to 82 million. As we speak, the amount that has been paid is 52 million, and some other ones that have been paid outside the money projected for it. As I speak, the physical achieved project for that job is 100%. Then provision of solar house. What we did there was just the house itself. We have no intention of taking over the job of the renewable energy department. So I want to emphasize that what the Ministry of Land, Housing and Survey did there was just to put up the structure in terms of the battery house and then the steel work that we carry the solar panels. And so the amount that was used for this job was that was projected for this job or budgeted was 30 million naira, and then the contract sum was 14 million. However, because of these other introductions that I mentioned, which also affected that battery house, because ab initio it was to be painted with white paint, and then when we saw the way the bus stop was looking, we had to introduce also a local bond to paint that place, to cap it with green, so that it will actually depict what its name is as a greenhouse.
You have 5 minutes to round off.
Okay, believing that everybody has this document, and then those who don't have will make it available to you. We have up to a lot of projects that we did. I just wanted to take like a review of how we fared, but like I said, in summary, we were able to draw about 2.7 billion from the 7.7 that we projected, and like I said, the item by item was just what I was enumerating. And then from there, I want to believe that this coming year is also going to be very, very eventful, like the year 2017. And having looked at the rigors and every other thing that we did last year, we decided to make a projection which totally summed up to 10.6 billion approximately. And then we have also within our document here, sorry, the slide is not working. We have them item by item. We are believing that, God's willing and the resources being available, that for the construction of the fitness center in front of the stadium, fitness center now, not the guest house, that we're going to project the sum of 1 billion naira. That the secretariat, where all the ministries are occupying, of course, last year we projected 500 million. We're also going to allow the same projection, so that if we have the fund and we have the approval of His Excellency, we'll be able to maybe touch some of the ministries that are seriously yearning for a little touch to make their offices functional. And then, of course, our ministry, the real name of the ministry is land. We must go into acquisition of land. We must go into paying of compensation. All these things we have kept and projected the sum of 2 million. God's willing, if we have the fund, we will be paying compensation. But if we don't have the fund, we still have other means that, like provision of amenities for the communities that we use to pay for land that we are going to acquire. And then the 3 buildings that we are doing in the government house, the governor's office, the governor's lodge, and the presidential lodge, apart from the perimeter fence that is going around the whole new government house, we are going to fence those buildings one by one individually, so that the governor's lodge will have its own fence, the office will have its own fence, and then the presidential lodge we have its office. This we have made a provision of 500 million. And then construction of new prison. His Excellency directed actually some months ago that for those contractors that are doing the present prison blocks, that if they do well, that we should give them another 3 sets of building, another 3 sets, that is 1 per contractor. And each of these blocks will kind of house 210 prisoners. So the idea is that by the time we have these 6 blocks, all the inmates that is now within the old Abakaliki prison will be moved to the new prison that the state is doing for its people. And we have also projected certain amount for the works we are going to do in the area of housing. Like the ESCO housing estate, we projected 1 billion. The new government house, we want to also continue to do some developmental projects there. We projected 2.250 billion. The Centenary Golf area, we intend to develop a golf site immediately opposite the gate of the new Centenary City. We projected 130 million. With the Ecumenical Center that is ongoing, recall that I said that the contract sum was 1.5 billion, but 463 was paid this year. We want to carry over that contract sum. So we made a projection that by this year, by this coming year 2018, we're going to be spending close to 2 billion there. Then the shopping mall, of course, is going to be a new generational thing. We are actually going to start up this work by this December, or God's willing by January. And then we have made a provision of 3 billion. And then the waste recycling plant, we actually kept aside something like 100 million for next year in case there is any other work that is to be done. However, physically, like I said, we have achieved 90% there. The Izambo Industrial Park is also there. We have projected 130 million. The consultancy services, because of the nature of the ministry, talking about architecture, talking about town planning, talking about land itself, even building itself, commissioner may one time or the other need to have consultants who will be advising him on these special areas. And so we have made this provision so that we'll get the correct hand to achieve the correct job in the place that we are posted to. Upgrading of our system. I'm talking about the machines we use in recording of title documents in the Department of Land, like CFO and others. And so this place we have projected is the sum of 5 million naira for the upgrading. And so this is what we have for 2018 as our budget and our projections. We have in the ministry, because we are land and money are very, very synonymous. We believe that we are going to go into aggressive revenue generation, especially when His Excellency, our wonder working governor, has provided us with the enablement. First of all, he has bought a brand new excavator for us. By December this year, a bulldozer will be coming. So opening up of roads in our layouts will be tackled aggressively this year. And when we do this, I know that people will be willing and very, very desirous to pay all the ground rents and any other charge that will be meted out to them, so that they will go into development. We will also be going into acquisition of land very seriously. Acquisition of, and when we do this, premium will come. This premium, of course, you know about the zone 13 and 14, that is the commercial layout. We are in ESCO, we agree that is 5 million for 1,000 hectares. And so there we have about, for one plot, which is 1,000 square meters. And so if we have 80 plots, multiply it by 5 million, that is what we will generate in one particular spot before we go into another. Thank you very much, and may God bless all of us.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Commissioner. Yes, one is to commend you on your ministry. At least we saw the whole of your 2017 outlay, what you assessed, the progress you've made, the required job to be done to complete those various tasks that you have laid out for 2017. We also noted that lots of what you have done for the year 2017 was ab initio, not in budgets. But we know you got supplementary approval. So we would be suggesting from page 4 to 8, the column number 7, we would want you to put in bracket there supplementary approval for all those works that were done for supplementary budgets, so that people will know that we didn't just spend government money without approval. It will deal with that. Then, in a quick one, what is your 2018 projection? How much money is your ministry projected for 2018? How much are you generating? And what is the gap we are seeking for in this year's, in the next year's projection, before we throw the line open? This is
Thank you very much, the chairman of the committee and the secretary to our state government. Yes, I did mention earlier that our sum projection for 2018 is 10,672,500,000 naira. And giving a breakdown of what I was trying to actually capture before the powers of the chairman came upon me that I had to stop. Yes, we are, by all sense of humility and seriousness, thinking that giving this enablement, which of course some of them I said have been provided by His Excellency, that the ministry is actually going to leave like 60 to 70% of funding of its budget with whatever is going to be our own allocation from the federation account, but the remaining, God's willing, we are certainly sure that we will raise it internally by the ministry. Because I just gave you example of one location, one layout. If we make 400 million in one location, if we do 4, it means, Your Excellency, we are good.
Thank you. Thank you. Before I welcome comments, both from within and outside, just one more thing before we do that. Automation of your land registry system and land use planning is one item that I know has helped many states increase their revenue. I don't know, is this something we can capture in our budget? Because we need to invest in that area to be able to make money also. I don't know.
Yes,
you consider that?
Yes, it is here, my chairman, because it's very, very cardinal. And if you recall, sir, you know that both myself and yourself have been in this pursuit because we know the benefit it will give to our people, not just only making revenue for government. It will grant security to title holders. The issue of somebody selling one land to 5 different individuals will be a thing of the past. And so, why we have provided this 5 million here is that our idea is that government will not or may not be able to carry every responsibility on itself. Especially in the Ministry of Land. Sometimes you have to interface with private individuals or developers or investors. And I know that discussion have been on with several people, including RESLAC and other people, who are willing to grant us this opportunity of ensuring that we put up this land registry properly on a geographical information system, so that when we do that, government will have their revenue, people's land will be secured, and hypertension will be a thing of the past.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Monday you can, Monday also you can throw the line open.
Thank you very much. The line is now open, as we also expect comments from our audience within. For those of us that will be calling from outside, 08024083108. 0802408. Hello? Hello? 08024083108. Okay, please come forward for your comment, please. If you come, you tell us your name and then your contributions. Hello? Okay, go ahead.
The chairman of this panel, I think let me stand on the existing protocol. My name is Comrade O.O. Daniels. Comrade O.O. Daniels, the technical assistant to the Governor on Student Affairs. My Honorable Commissioner, sir, I just have a few remarks to make and suggestion. First is, I talk as a lawyer here. I understand for the past, or since the commencement of this administration, we had issue of C of O's. I talk personally from the clients I handle their property. The deed of assignment or power of attorney goes through all the processes, is signed and all that, and at the final stage to get the governor's consent in respect of the document, sometimes it lingers for years, and I think that will be affecting investors' confidence, because when you don't have proper title document as relates to the document, as relates to where you want to invest on, that may affect the level of your confidence in respect of your investment in Ebonyi State. So I think this should be given, except maybe something else is being done on it. So that's it should be given priority. Then for us, the students, we develop a program where, as we talk now, students are really interested. His Excellency made it very clear that as far as you have a valid reg number as a student in any of the higher institutions in Ebonyi State, that you're a bona fide citizen of this state. That being the case, also understanding the challenge that students are an integral part of the society, and also they're interested in benefiting maximally from the programs of the present administration, where government is interested in the entrepreneurial skills and the agricultural programs. And agriculture is synonymous to land, because you cannot do agriculture without land. And our students cannot, we have this challenge where they cannot access land. Even they're able to access loan from government or those other empowerment fund that may come from government. But if they don't have land and they're interested, as I talked to you now, I have over 250 students that indicated interest in farming, in poultry, having a farm, rice farm and all that. That are students. And I've discussed with them, they're very interested, they're even willing to stake their certificate as a security. I've also written to the Vice Chancellor in respect of this matter, and we are in discussion. The first option we are looking at was to have some of the land that pertains to the school that is not being used, that has been underutilized. Students can use them.
I don't know, are you making the presentation? Or are you asking questions?
No, sir, I'm asking questions, sir.
Because I'm already lost myself. Is it a question or a presentation?
It's a question, sir.
Okay, so okay.
I think you're holding my point, sir.
Sorry, my brother, sorry.
So sir, what, in summary, what I'm asking is there any way that students can be assisted through your ministry to access land so that they can get adequately involved in the agricultural program of the present administration? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Hello? Okay, subsequent speakers, please. Because of time, you can make it 2 minutes, please. Thank you. Can we hear from you, sir? Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Daniel. I am very, very happy that this issue of CFO came up here in this hall, believing that we are being beamed live. It will be an opportunity for every Ebonyian who have been peddling very false information to get the correct answer from the correct source now. Because they said that we are deformed. If we are not informed, we are deformed. I want to tell you that as I speak, there is no CFO that is waiting the consent or signature of His Excellency as at present. Every CFO that has come before from 2015 till the time we left for Dubai have been signed and handed over to the Ministry of Land, Survey and House. Is my HOD land here? Stand up. Do you have the CFOs? Do you have it? You have them. For anybody that is looking for his or herself, go to this woman. Not even myself. Go to this woman and then meet up very simple requirements. Very simple requirement, payment of relevant taxes and charges. You will collect your CFO, you will collect any document that is pertaining to land that you have submitted in my ministry. I hope, my barrister, where are you? I've answered you. See the woman there. Okay. Oh. Then for the other one, you just made a point that there is a place you saw within the school area where the youth can be engaged. Because one difficult thing with land is that anybody that has it always tries to hold it tenaciously. And so, since there is an area where you think is within the school premises, just like what the Commissioner of Agric and EPSU is doing along Isheke, if you have that area, you can come to me and then we go into agreement or negotiation with whoever have the land. We'll make sure that you get that land for the youth to be engaged, especially when it has to do with agriculture. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think Honorable Commissioner deserves a round of applause. Thank you very much. Let's take a call. Okay, let's hear from Dennis.
Thank you very much. Thank you, the panel I seated here and the audience. My name is Mr. Dennis Uzim. I'm a public affairs analyst. Honorable Commissioner, I thank you for the tremendous amount of success you've achieved so far, especially anytime you're called upon in this type of fora. You're always digital in your presentation. This is not the first, this is not the second time. I thank you so much. My question goes to the military barracks at Onkwego. There was a time during the past regime we heard that they entered into agreement with the state government and they ceded some part of their land, part of the Onkwego barracks, back to the state government. But I want to know what's happening if that agreement do stand and that the state government built some shopping malls along that Onkwego road, which they used to compensate the military cantonment at Onkwego for that ceding. But I want to know what's really the status of that shopping mall. Has it been handed over to the military? Because I know that's, if it has been handed over, then, well, we may say that the military, but that shopping mall is not being made use of. Or is the shopping mall still the property of the state government? And what is really the status of that agreement between the states and the other military cantonment? My second question is, I want to know what's the standard of the land within the state capital territory? Because sometimes I hear that the state capital territory goes as far as Ebonyi in Ikwo. We don't really know let's be told the measurement, a place that incorporates the state capital territory. And this one goes to the panel. Sir, I think the amount of audience here is declining. If it continues this way, maybe we may have empty hall by the end of the day. And I may be a bit rude, but I think we that are not holding any political office are attending these functions. So we're on the fringe of governance. Nobody is paying us. Those that you appoint, thousands of them, they are not coming to these functions. None of us are being paid, and we are taking our time, our valuable time, and attending this function. You should compel those people you are paying and let them fill the hall. And we are not giving those papers, sir. You said they will give us so that we can flow with them. Nobody gave us those people that came here, the honorable commissioners. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mondeze. The last person that asked the question, my very good friend. The state capital, the place that is known as the state capital, is the place that is bordered by the old Abakaliki Ring Road. I hope you know old Abakaliki. In fact, the ring road that we are talking about now, the one we want to reconstruct now, that is the area that is known as Abakaliki Capital City. Okay. Then talking about the shops, I will not call it mall, even though it's still mall, but I prefer to call them shops that is within the army land. I hope you're talking about the one already completed. Yes, those shops, as far as I can remember, was constructed during the time of my very good friend, retired Brigadier General Gora, when he was here as the cantonment commander, when he was a colonel, I think a colonel. So myself, I was chairman. So I actually may not want to go into it deeply, because the question you asked is a kind of eye-opener to me. Because if I stand here to tell you that I still think the state government has hand in it, I may be wrong. If I say that we don't have hand in it, I may also be wrong. But I want to go into it and know whether actually we have because I know that time the military cantonment made allocation of those shops. So I want to go into it to know the exact status of that property before I can answer. You have my number now, so that we can talk later. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's take more comments from our audience, from within. We are making an effort to establish contact with audience outside here, but it seems the network is not good. Hello? Hello? Okay. Mr. Chairman, sir.
I want to say something. Number one is to remind us that the essence of this public budget presentation is for people to contribute to the packaging of the 2018 budget. And in essence, it means that after the presentation by the ministry, especially when we assess their performance in the year ending, we should be able to know whether their own budget are done well, and we should be able to point out areas they have not done well that they require improvement. And then if there are things in the previous budget that need to be changed, need to be reviewed upwards or downwards, this is an opportunity for everybody here in the general public to point it out. Also, if there are things that weren't there, this is also an opportunity for people to raise them. That is why His Excellency, the Governor of Ebonyi State, Engineer Chief David Nwezumai, thought it wise to package this public budget presentation to give Ebonyians the opportunity to participate in the making of their budget. Because the budget of a state is the people's budget. This is the budget that, if implemented, is supposed to achieve some certain aims and objectives of government and the people. So this is the first time in the history of this state that the state government is giving the masses, the public, the generality of people who are outside government the opportunity to be part and parcel of the budget making. So we expect our people who are outside there to actually pay serious attention to this, because at the end of this exercise, it's assumed that just like the Catholics say, after reading the bans, the marriage bans, and it's ended, the priest will say anybody who did not object to the marriage should take his objection to God. It's expected that if you didn't bring up any idea now, if you didn't suggest anything, it means you are in agreement with what has been packaged. And then it is not tomorrow you begin to complain that this budget didn't meet your expectation. So we expect everybody, farmers, traders, businessmen, contractors, educationists, everybody to be part and parcel of this exercise. And it's an open exercise. Those inside this hall are free like air to contribute. Those outside also have the opportunity to call the lines and contribute, so that together we can come up with a budget that will stand the test of time to the benefit of Ebonyi people.
Thank you very much. Please, our telephone line remains 00240-83108. Let's take this call. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, please, can you tell us your name and your location?
Hello, Monday.
Okay, please go ahead with your contribution.
Yeah, I want to thank the Honorable Commissioner for Lands and Housing. I want to also thank the Governor of Ebonyi State for this opportunity. And I have a question I want to ask the Commissioner. Hello?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I know that they have a plan for housing estate under what you call the private partnership, public-public partnership initiative. And I would want you to follow that in through, because it is something that will be beneficial to the masses. So I would want that to be included in this budget, even though we don't have enough money. But I would always want that program to be focused because of the potential of easing the suffering of the masses in the state. And given the fact that if you do comparative analysis of house rent, you discover that when it comes to the central houses.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Monday. The Commissioner will now react to that question. Honorable Commissioner, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Eze. I want to tell you that the administration we work in and the governor we are following is a man whom at any time you are counting one, we are already counting 10. You are talking about development of housing estate through PPP, private-public partnership. I want to say that it was just time that did not allow me to actually mention all the layouts that we have either acquired or in the verge of acquiring. Like I did mention, I stated that we have over 43 hectares inside the Centenary City, which will be given up for ESCO members, judiciary, and members of the House of Assembly. Along the Nwofe Road, where we call Mbo, Apaja, and Abofia, we have 63 hectares there that we're already negotiating and already concluding to also give up to sundry beneficiaries who, of course, will be Ebonyans. At the Omorara Enyim area, we also have an estate or a layout that will be lying almost at the same area with the recycling plant. This we intend to develop also for people that will be working within that recycling plant, and in fact, those that will also be working in other secretariats within the capital city. A lot of land have been acquired, and like I said, some are in the verge of being acquired. So I allay your fear that by this 2018, it is all going to be smiles for members of the public, especially our teeming civil servants who will be happy to have a house of their own. And I think that it is in a bid to improve this housing sector that His Excellency carved out a special department that is headed by the SA to His Excellency on housing. Praise Ajanwa Bese. He will throw more light when he will be presenting. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner. Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, we have a call. Hello?
Thank you, Monday. Thank you very much.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chairman, distinguished Ebonyians. Just to remind our colleagues that in line with the objectives of this 2018 budget presentation, we are insisting that the following columns must be maintained. The first one has to do with the project description. Project description must be there. The second one has to do with 2017 budget estimates for that project described. Then the third column, we now have 2017 actual budget release. What were you able to assess? Then the fourth column we have to do with the difference between 2017 provision and the actual release of 2017. And then the last column will contain the 2018 budget provision. In that way, somebody picking up that document will be able to, at a glance, assess what was provided for 2017, what was assessed for 2017, the difference of what was provided and what was received, and then the projection for 2018. That way we will also be, we will not be fighting with time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, if you permit, we'll move over to the next presentation.
Okay, Commissioner for Lands, are there MDAs under you that has something to show us? Are you? Oh, Surveyor. Surveyor and, okay. Surveyor first. But already we have spent 55 minutes allocated to Minister of Lands. So we should be able to do your talk within 5 minutes, the two of you.
The chairman and the members, if you look at the policy thrust on page 1 of our presentation, we submitted. Yes, we did. Okay. If you look at the policy thrust of Office of Surveyor General of Ebonyi State, you will see number 1, carrying out all survey within government approved layouts and mapping, demarcation and surveying of all state boundaries, local government area boundaries, and development center lands. Number 3, handling of matters relating to intra and inter-boundary matter in collaboration with appropriate authorities. Designing and establishing control network at different orders for appropriate spatial geo-referencing of all lands, survey-related information within the state. Production of up-to-date geographical maps in Ebonyi State on a large scale to enable interested individuals purchase them and use for planning purposes. Development and maintenance of digital cadastral database. Digitalization of analog maps and plans to digital format. providing geospatial information system for the development of the state and for security purposes. Based on this policy thrust, you go to the budget for this year.
Surveyor General, we have looked at your document. Okay. Page 4 shows 0 releases across board.
Yes.
Your commissioner is here. I do not know why he got 0. He's your boss. So what you do is to work more closely with him and see how your performance can increase in the next year.
I do.
So that there will be activity in your own department, because what we are seeing here shows you were idle the whole year by this document.
We are not idle. We were doing only that money was not released to us.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
By implication.
I would do that. And you know, he was talking about revenue. The revenue he projected is dependent on survey plan, not on design. So what you are saying is true. The revenue he projected is based on survey plan, survey data, not on design. So if there's another zero budget, zero allocation here, automatically what he's projecting may not be factual. So no, that is that.
We're on the same page. What we're saying is that you need a budgetary provision that is actualized to be able to perform this task. So work more closely with your commissioner to improve on performance so that you can get releases this year. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Ebonyans who are with us in this.
Nobody's allowed to go. So well, no. Nobody's going. We haven't finished. Please. Refreshment is coming. We have ordered lunch, so be patient with us. Huh? Sorry, Prof, I didn't interject. What we are doing here is to improve harmonious relationship in our MDAs. If the commissioner is the chief executive and is able to do certain things, those working under him, there should be that synergy, so that we'll see performance across board. That's the whole idea.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to make this addendum to the format for the presentation as was given by Prince Ugwocha. I think there is need to give us a summary of your presentation by saying, like, taking a cue from Honorable Commissioner for Lands. He started by telling us what was the budget estimate for 2017, how much that was assessed, the balance, and then the projection. If you just give us that, you now start taking us into your item one by one. It makes for a simple presentation. I just wanted to add that in the format of the summary for those of you who are yet to present. Thank you.
I say housing development. Just talk under 5 minutes so we can close.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our dear brother, Professor Ben Odo, the Secretary to the Secretary to the State Government, and the panel of judges. May I recognize my Honorable Commissioner?
Just
go straight. Wonderful Commissioner. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear colleagues in ESCO and the wonderful Ebonyans. We are here to, just like the Honorable Commissioner talked about, the Office of the Special Advisor to the Governor on Housing Development. we have existing estates. The existing estate, we are just going straight to the capital. But before the capital, what are we doing? What we are doing is, of course, just like one of the callers said that here, that the issue of housing deficiency and the issue of a high cost of rent in the Ebonyi State has continued to rise. And of course, civil servants in the Ebonyi State and of course public servants will wish to have their own houses. And that is what we are doing. How do we intend to achieve it? One, governor has done wonderfully well. We have the existing estate which some of the civil servants are living. Those estates comprises of Udensi 1 and 2, that is the junior staff quarters Udensi 1 and 2, and the senior staff quarter Udensi 1. And then we have the Onueke, Afipo, and those are the 7 existing estates which has already been given to our civil servants on what we call Ebonyi State government policy of honor basis, which they are being remitted. And Mr. Chairman, sir, if you go to our revenue base, because it's only purely civil servants who are living there, we are deducting those the payment of those houses through their salary on what we call through their remittance through their salary. Now we have another liberation estate. The liberation estate is the one as you're moving towards the Enugu, you see the liberation estate. That is an estate that is purely government, but of course through the government policy of what they call the outright sale. Government sold that those properties to outright sale to Ebonians, which me and you are there. And Mr. Chairman, sir, we have done very well. By this year, we have to look at those people who have not finished paying for those houses. And because we need their money so that we can actually add to what other people are doing, we now say by the allocation paper, they said after 60 months, 60 calendar months, those who have taken those liberation estate, if they have not finished paying, we are going to revoke the property and give it to other people. What we are saying is that these are another areas of our generation of revenue to impute into the housing policy of the government. What does our governor wants to achieve? What we want to achieve is that one is to provide the land, which the Minister of Land and the Commissioner have said here. We have provided the land. For instance, we want to do a housing cut across the 13 local government. We come up with a policy of doing 200 houses across the 13 local government.
Just to guide you. Okay, sir. Just to guide you.
Okay, sir.
If I understand your mandate,
yes, sir.
It's more like your office is more like a property manager.
Yes, sir.
For all government developed estates.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner, I don't know if I'm correct.
Yes, sir.
And from what you have here, it reflects that mandate. We have seen item number 1, rehabilitation of infrastructure of the existing housing estate. We don't see Onueke and Afipo. Your budgetary proposal is 500 million. Fencing of democracy estate, 150 million. So what you are seeking for 2018 is 1,050,000,000. Without wasting much of our time, I don't know, do they pay rent?
Yes, they pay rent, sir. And that's what I was just saying. I said that the 6 existing estate, the civil servants that are living there, they are paying through what we call the already outright sale of.
So the deductions are going
on their salary.
Yes,
yes, sir.
Okay. Well, we will do in-house detailing of this together with your commissioner.
Yes,
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there people who have something to say on this? It's straightforward, so don't worry yourself.
Somebody wants to say something.
Yes. Want to ask question? Can give us your question here.
Okay. Good day, ladies and gentlemen, the governor, and the general public. My name is Ekechi Stephen Afobike, Fresco Campus, Ebonyi State University. If I had TA very well, the SCA, sorry, he made mention of 2 estates at Udensi, one at Oneke Afipo, the other one at Izambo. So my question is, why is it that in some student areas that we don't have such estates where students, as we all know that the school hostels don't always accommodate the number of students we have in the schools? Why is it that we don't have such estate within the school premises? I know that we will be paying, but it will be in a subsidized rate. Because in some places like Palm Site, Presco, where the house rent is of a higher, is being paid of higher amounts, Cars campus, we don't have such estate. Why is it that the government have not deemed it necessary to provide such provision for the student? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Because I am in land, and because we have done so much progressively in trying to tackle this type of problem, that is why I came up to answer this question. Because the area you know as Isheke Junction, recall that there are buildings that are scattered all over the area there. Those buildings are owned by individuals and called hostels. Of course, like you said, some of them are located to students at exorbitant prices. But I want to tell you that those people that have those buildings are illegally occupying those plots of land. We have gone into negotiation with them. They understood that they are intruders and encroachers. And so they are going to be paying penalties. That is the truth. And after that, those areas that we have built up now, that we have buildings now, government have mapped out another section of the land where government is going to do hostels through PPP arrangement anyway, and then the prices will be determined by government so that students will pay it very, very conveniently, and it will be very, very conducive for them. So this is what you have succeeded in achieving with this your question. I want to tell you that the ESCO of the Ebonyi State Executive Council has given approval for us to take that portion of land that is being occupied by encroachers and then further even demarcate another place that is virgin now, which will be developed for the students and the lecturers. After all, in some schools, you have lecturers' quarters, like in IMT Enugu and UNEC. So university community, so we're going to develop that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner and the SA. We have come to a close for Ministry of Land, Survey and Housing. We'll be taking presentation from Commissioner for Empowerment and Job Creation. I think that's the next on our schedule. Yes, thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Cards for campaign.
Your Excellency, Mr. Chairman, next presentation is coming from the Honorable Commissioner for Economic Empowerment and Job Creation, who is also the headmaster of Governor Omahe Empowerment Program. Is here with us. If you see the kind of... Thank you very much. That 250,000 is working. Honorable Commissioner, sir.
The Secretary to Ebonyi State Government and your wonderful co-panelists, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Gumeba, thank you very much. I will beg to do a slide presentation if it pleases the crew. My presentation will be in 4 folds. One will be to give a background. 2, to give you details of 2017 estimate, releases made. 3, the actual implementation process the details. And finally, the 2018, I call it proposal because we have not concluded at the ESCO level, so it's still a proposal from the Ministry of Economic Empowerment and Job Creation. At this point, the Secretary, sir, I will not cease at all further to thank my boss, the Executive Governor of Ebonyi State, His Excellency Engineer Chief David Nweze Umahi, for all his strides in the area of economic empowerment and job creation. I can say that all the empowerment initiatives and programs and policies in this ministry are his brainchild. So he deserves our warmest commendation. I would also commend the mother of Ebonyi State, the wife of the governor, who also has a compassionate heart and who has also made a lot of strides in the area of empowerment of our widows, gender affirmative action, and ensuring that women rise to their very position of truly the mothers of our nation. Great women. Let me also thank all the team, the Deputy Governor, the wife, the Speaker, the National Vice Chairman of PDP, who incidentally is the Chief Patron of Gumeba, and our own the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, of the State. It's like somebody had promotion. Promotion shall be our portion in Jesus' name. Little insight about our vision. When I came on board in July, I had to develop what I call vision statement and mission statement, because I got to know that many ministries are yet to come to terms with what should be the vision and mission of the ministry. So the vision statement is to be the economic.
Just to guide you, we have 3 more ministries today, and we would want you to go to the budget so that we can move on. Please. We have 3 more ministries, and it's after 2. So go to your budget, let us hear you out and make our contribution.
Thank you very much. I thought I was guided by 30 minutes, but I shall do justice to it. 2017 releases. But before I go into that, I want to inform you that in 2017 the budget was 2,597,174,000, and total release is made came up to 1,253,275,000. And in the 2017 budget, we have outstanding of 1,341,899,000. That is 48.29% performance for the year 2017. If it does please you, I would have loved to go to the various items. The issue of economic empowerment for youth and women. 3,000 so far have been empowered with 250,000. And also, area of widow empowerment. Actually, the disbursement comes from our office, whereas the actual implementation comes through the office of the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on religious welfare and religious matters. So a total of 1,121,000 released for these 2 items. And also the Lagos Empowerment Program that we just attended, 130 million naira slipping in the account, already released. And that goes to a total, that is the total I have given you about the 2017 expenditure. Now, it is very pertinent that we look at the details of the 2017 capital budget performance. Move. Yeah, you will see that the governor did flag off for youth women empowerment, and it has been working very, very effectively. Our people are very happy. I call it what marks or makes the difference between economic development and economic growth. Because the real people, the indigenous, non-indigenous living in the state, inhabitants of the state are being given this money, and the direct impact is on the people, and that has enhanced the living standard of our people. What is this widow empowerment? Like I did say, we disburse
Office of the SSA, Religious Matters, does implement. Now for street to skill diaspora empowerment, we have it in Lagos, we have it in Onitsha, Anambra State. And we have done that of Lagos. In Onitsha, we're expecting that a total of 140 tricycles will be given to our people in Onitsha, just to enhance the dignity of their life and their living standard. That is very, very much happening, and the people are very happy. The governor, because of the enthusiasm the people have shown in the area of empowerment, has also approved that a total of 260 tricycles be procured and be given to our youths living in Ebonyi State, not those outside. And that is going to make 20 number tricycles per local government for our youths, so that they will be dignified in their living standard. Now, next, the area of Onitsha, I have mentioned that horticultural program. The governor feels that our people should be trained in a specialized program like horticultural activities. That is why the governor, in his usual tendency of equality of ward, equality of local government, equality of zones, did pick 2 persons per zone. They were trained and given 1 million naira each. Today, they are proud beneficiaries or proud millionaires, as it were. Now, the Governor Umahi Mentorship Scheme. This is a program of the governor to lift, to select, to discover talented graduates in engineering, in law, in humanities. And we are starting with engineering. After being trained, they will be engaged in engineering activities, and they will be paid for the period that they will be in that field until they have been empowered mentally, and they will also be empowered financially. They will now be proud company owners, and we will discourage capital flight by engaging our indigenous engineers to work for us in the area of infrastructure, in the area of road construction. I think the governor deserves a round of applause. Yeah, we have a lot of programs that we are partnering with the federal government. Don't forget, my ministry, when I came on board, I feel that 90% of the funding should come from the private sector. And that's why I wanted to tell you about our vision and mission. And it is working. We are having a lot of programs with the federal government. We have the one with the Southeast, the one we call Southeast Entrepreneurship Center Program. We have 5 SIPs of the federal government. I tell you that a lot of money is being injected into the economy of our state through this partnership deal between the state government and the federal government. Let me go straight to the area of the 2018 projection, which should be the last. But before I go into that, I want to inform you, the SAG, sir, that I have a wonderful outfit that is like omnipresent, is everywhere. That is the Governor Mahi Empowerment Beneficiaries Association. Their outfit is, this outfit is in the 101, thank you very much. This outfit is in the 171 wards of the state and the 13 local government areas. Now, what do? They'll help me because I cannot be everywhere. Even if we have 1 million people who have been empowered, these people are able and capable to go around and supervise and monitor them. That leads me to the issue of monitoring and evaluation. Very key. We have done monitoring in about 7 local government areas. You can see Izi or Auku. Go on. You can see Abakaliki, among other local government areas. The 2018 projection is there and it speaks for itself, but it's just a total of 15,394,800. That is our proposal. By the time we fine-tune, we'll be able to know whether we are going forward or going backwards. But I'll leave it up to you to ask me questions for the explanations. May it please you, the panelists, but you did not give me the time you gave to others, but I shall plan by
I haven't stopped you. Okay, are you to, thank you. Commissioner, you have recruited people, I'm sure. Okay, Mondozo, you can open the lines.
Thank you very much. That was a beautiful presentation from the Honorable Commissioner of Economic Empowerment and Job Creation. And our telephone lines remain 08.
the question and answer session, just call the numbers 08024 083108.
Let's now take contributions from audience within. If you have any contribution to make, and let me also emphasize that we have a good number of students today who are participating in this program. Oh, please come forward for your comment. Come forward, please. Thank you. Hello? Hello? Hello, who is on the line? Hello? Please, we can't get you clearly, please. Okay.
Thank you very much for this privilege. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Iteshi Clinton. I'm of the Faculty of Basic Medical Science, Ebonyi State University, Abakaliki. When I was invited for this program, the first thing I did was to run into my campus and get the pulse of the majority of my colleagues. And from the score sheet, the governor have done incredibly well, and that we want to appreciate him for also giving us the opportunity to be part of this budget making. Greatest of the greatest Nigerian students, greatest Baba, greatest Bobo. Please may we be uprising as we give 7 Bosa for our friendly governor, student-friendly governor. Bosa, 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 Bosa. Thank you very much. You can be seated. Please, Mr. Commissioner, thank you for the presentation. Your presentation was very clear. But from the statistics that is available to us, you have not incorporated any of the undergraduate students in your empowerment programs. And also from the statistics that is available to us, undergraduate students constitute over 40% of Ebonyi youths. So if the commissioner will come here and tell us that his ministry has done very well in terms of youth empowerment, I would want to, as a student leader, I would want to please defer with him.
Excuse me, let me just guide you, so that we have proper focus. You are a student. You don't need empowerment program now because you are still in school. It's when you graduate, because you can, for instance, just pay attention. Just pay attention. Pay attention. Hey, can you pay attention, please? Let's not trivialize what we're doing here. As a student, your job now is to focus on your studies and make first class or make 2-1. Don't mix up money matter with your studies. And that's what we need to correct the Ebonyi State. I will allow you to talk.
All right, Mr. Chairman.
Just wait. I'm addressing all our young people. Part of the problem we are having in our society is that people pursue too many things at the same time and we lose focus. So if you stay focused on your studies in your own graduate days, you have all the time when you finish to pursue money and do your empowerment thing. At this stage, our interest as parents and as government officials is to ensure that we provide you the enabling environment for your studies and see how we can deal with the issue of your school fees. So let us focus on the key areas that concerns our upbringing and formation at this stage. So let us not mix up what we are doing here. If the other things you want to say, we can allow you to say that, but don't deviate.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate your guide. As a teacher, I know you understand what you're saying very, very well. But I also want to point out that majority of the Ebonyi youths who are in school are the ones who are seeing themselves through education. I have my colleagues here, and if I collude...
Just note what I've told you. In my office now, I have over 1,000 CV. More than 70% are third class and past degree. And it's a problem. It's a problem. What I'm advising you from experience. If you don't focus now that you're in school, once you perform badly, it will affect the whole of your future. Don't put your eye on money. Those of us who are parents, you may appreciate what I'm saying. Focus on your studies. It's difficult for you to combine pursuit for money and your studies and do well. It is proven. Let us not mix up things. Commissioner, say something. So let's not argue about this, please. Okay.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, I just want to inform you that the governor actually empowered them, because in other states, while they're increasing fees about 400%, he reduced school fees automatically by 10,000 per student. So, and that is what I call automatic bursary for all undergraduates. And if we have about 20,000 students times 10,000 that will reduce, that's about 200 million every semester. That's a big empowerment, reducing your school fees. Thank you very much.
Next ministry.
Thank you. Hello?
Hello?
Please, can we know who is on the line? Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Please, who is on the line?
One day on the line.
Okay, please go ahead with your contribution.
Hello?
Go ahead with your contribution.
Yes, I want to thank the chairman of that operation for the direction they have given to our students, because that is a problem that people used to ignore. We need focus in every aspect of life, and particularly for those who are in school. That is one. Now, I also thank the Commissioner for Empowerment for the ingenuity he has introduced in that ministry to come on board. Now, but I want to ask, there seems to be some people that were collected, some people that were assembled for empowerment, particularly women. I want to ask, is it still possible for those people to be empowered this year? And if it is, if the answer is in the affirmative, I would want them to give us a timeline for it, because some of us who need these women and some of us who are government officials, they keep pestering us with questions. Thank you.
Okay, please, can you tell us the women you are talking about?
Huh?
Can you tell us the women you are talking about?
Widows, particularly, there are women that were shoplifted about 2 months ago. Not the people that came to the side of the other time, but there were the last batch of widows that were shortlisted.
Okay, thank you. The commissioner will give you answer to that. Honorable Commissioner. He wants to know the fate of the last set of widows that were shortlisted for empowerment.